Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Talking Teeth podcast. My name is Steven, and I am a first-year dental student, and this is my first official attempt at creating my very own podcast here on my YouTube channel. I want to welcome in all of my faithful subscribers that are likely watching this as it comes out here. If you're watching this as it comes out on YouTube, you are one of my faithful first 1,000 subscribers. And I truly can't thank you enough for being here and for being a part of all of this. It's been so much fun watching my channel grow, and I'm so excited to watch it to continue to grow. So if you clicked on this video and you didn't know what you're getting into, I want to go ahead and give you a little bit of a pitch of what this is about. So stay with me here for a second and hear me out. And then if you don't like what you hear, you can click off after that. So I am a first-year dental student. I'm known here by a few people on YouTube for making videos about my experiences in dental school. And I'm a young person. I'm 24 years old. And I love being able to create and to put things out on the internet in a video format because it's something that I've always felt that I had a talent in doing. I love being creative outside of a profession and a position in life that is very straightforward to the books, scientific, and because I love doing that, I want to continue doing it in every way I can possibly do so. And the difficulty with my current position is that I am a dental student and I am quite committed to quite a bit of time spent. So I don't have a whole lot of time sometimes during the week to put out quality content. And one of my objectives with this channel was to inform and to entertain. So I wanted to continue to bring people quality content that was going to both entertain them and allow them to see a little bit into the world of a dental student, how to get there, what it's like, and everything else surrounding that. So that's what this podcast is going to be. It's going to be a way for me to continue to exercise my creative mind, to continue to inform you about the life of a dental student, and also to continue to put out content on a regular basis, which is something that I've committed to myself I want to do. So on this podcast, I'll be talking about dental school. Of course, that's what I know. That's what my life position is at right now. I'll be talking about being a young person, being 24 years old, what it's like to be a young person in the world these days. I'll be talking about relationships, exercise, lifestyle, hobbies, everything that I enjoy doing that makes my life special, the people that make my life special. And so if you're interested in any of that, keep listening, because I think this is going to be a fun one. So this is it. This is the podcast. This is my setup here. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. This is my little desk setup. I've got the new microphone set up here. Hopefully it sounds quite crisp. I've been tinkering with this thing, trying to get it to be perfect because I'm kind of a perfectionist, and it's frustrating at times when you put all this time into something and then you go to look at it on your computer after and it looks terrible, sounds terrible, whatever it is. But there's not really a topic for this first podcast. I wanted to just introduce this and talk about where my life is at right now and give you an extended update and an extended look into where I'm at right now, what's going on. I've got some exciting news to share with you. I thought about doing a video to kind of announce the exciting news, but I thought this would actually be the best place to do it. So where am I currently at? Well, let's see. It's March 3rd when I'm filming or recording this, and March 3rd, 2021. So the beginning of 2021, and I am in my second semester of dental school, second semester, first year, and things have been going quite well. This week we had a gross anatomy exam on Monday. It was our second block exam, so block 2, and I did very, very well. So well on that exam that, which this doesn't happen to me super often. I'm a pretty average student, but I did so well that I decided to make a video talking about how I do well in anatomy, and I released that today. So I released a video talking about some resources that students can use to excel in anatomy. So I had that. I have a practical exam coming up as well, a lab practical for anatomy. Feel good about that. I tend to learn the material for lecture, and then that sort of helps me also learn the material for lab. So it's not like I don't know anything because it's all sort of in there when I learned it for lecture. So school's going pretty well. Just sort of in the grind at this point. Feels like the semester is already going by. And I say that now in the beginning of March, and I'm sure that in a few months I will say the exact same thing. And it's going to go by like that in a flash. So that's been going on. My older sister just had her first child today. So shout out to my new nephew, wishing, hoping, and praying for him that he has a long, happy, and healthy life, and that he's surrounded by people that love him. So exciting news for my family. And everything is going quite well. I really can't complain. Things have been good. So I wanted to just get on here and riff, because I'm somebody who I get in the shower sometimes, and I live alone here, so I don't talk to a whole lot of people during the day. So what better way than to get the thoughts out into the world than to start a podcast? And I get to talk to all you people. But everything has been good, and I feel like my time has been allotted pretty well, because I do live alone. I don't really have a whole lot of a social life, so we'll talk about that in future episodes. I have amazing friends in this world, and I'm extremely blessed to have the friends that I have, but none of them live with me, so I don't see them on a regular basis. And my girlfriend doesn't live here, so we talk every night on FaceTime. So my days are basically filled with things that I have to do and want to do. And let's just go ahead and get into the news, because this is exciting and I want to talk about it. And it's also in the beginning here, so hopefully some people are still listening. I have been making these YouTube videos, and I've been really interested to see how the community of people has been developing. And it's been one of the interesting aspects of putting my work out there, is that there are actually people who have started to just sort of join in on whatever I have going on here. And the crowd is still really small, but it is developing, and it is growing every single day. And so it's funny how it works on YouTube, because it does become, you find these little sub communities within the wider YouTube world. And about 2 weeks ago, I was on YouTube just doing the thing, scrolling around, whatever. And the wonderful algorithm gave me a recommended video for a gentleman named Joel Meyerson. And I immediately recognized Joel because Joel works for DAT Bootcamp. And I recognized him from the perceptual ability test videos that were on DAT Bootcamp, and immediately saw him. I knew he was a dentist, and he was making videos about dentistry, so I clicked on one of his videos. And I guess just as a creator and as someone who's doing almost exactly the same thing as he is, but just in I'm at obviously a different position in my life than he is, I immediately recognized the time that he put into this video that I was watching, and I appreciated it. And I watched this video and I loved it. And so I reached out to him. I found him on Instagram, reached out to him, and I said, hey man, this was awesome. I make videos myself, so I know how long they can take. And I wanted to, just tell you that I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your transparency. It was something like that. And it was genuine. It was genuinely my thoughts. I had no motives or anything. I just wanted to reach out and tell him that I appreciated his work. Because as a creator, also, I know how much it means to hear that. And so I reached out to him. He was very appreciative. We talked for a second, and then that was it. So you fast forward a few days, and I get an Instagram DM from Joel asking me if I was interested in a job. Now, if you talk to anybody who knows me and who has talked to me over the past year or 2 years, they would tell you that Stephen was adamant against getting a job in dental school. He said that was something that he would never do, not because he was against working or anything, but just because he knew dental school was going to be a huge commitment and that wasn't going to be something he would do. Well, Joel offered me a job to be a video content creator for Bootcamp, the same company that created DAT Bootcamp. It once was DAT Bootcamp. It's now becoming Bootcamp. because it's growing, it's getting bigger. He offered me a job as a content creator to create a dental anatomy course. So the anatomy of the teeth, we called it dental morphology here at UTHSC, at my dental school, but essentially the anatomy of the teeth. And he said, are you interested? And I said, absolutely. Because it was video creation and it was teaching. And those are two things that I really enjoy doing. I'm more familiar with the video creation side, but teaching is something that I also like to do, even though I'm not that smart. And so he sent me a test project, kind of a way to test the waters with me a little bit. I created a video for him and for Ari, the founder of the company, and they liked what they saw. And I was hired, I think that a few days after. So all of a sudden I had this job, and now I'm about a week and a half, 2 weeks into it, creating a course on dental anatomy. And I have nothing but good things to say about the entire experience. Where to even begin? So from a personal perspective, I've actually been thinking a lot lately about my time management, about what I do during my days. And I've been thinking there's actually a good bit of time that I have, especially kind of in the nights, where I'm done with my dental school work. I mean, it is a ton of work, right? I study all the time, but it's not a 100% 24 hours a day commitment. It really isn't. At times it can feel like that, but generally speaking, if you allot your time well, you practice good time management, you get your work done, you have some time. And so I've been thinking about this recently, like I need to start using my time better anyways. So what this will do for me is it'll allow me to really push myself to use my time effectively, because now I'm adding, another commitment, which was admittedly a little bit scary at first. But after doing it here now for almost 2 weeks, I can definitely see that it hasn't negatively affected my time management and my current setup for my day. In fact, it's only made it better, because now when I sit down to study, I feel like, I need to get work done here. I don't need to mess around. So it's been great in that aspect. It's been wonderful to meet and to start to interact with some of the people over at Boot Camp. Boot Camp it's an amazing company. I'm shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm surprised to see the company has grown like it has in such a short time. I used DAT Boot Camp for my DAT preparation in the summer of 2019. That was the last time I really thought about it all that much. I have this YouTube channel and I interact with young students who are preparing to go to dental school all the time. And I always tell all of them, DAT Boot Camp, you don't need anything else. But I haven't really thought about the company in a while. And once I went back to check in on it with the proposition of this job, I saw that the company was expanding. They had this whole thing called Anatomy Boot Camp now, with the entire body, all of gross anatomy. They had physiology, and they have all these courses that they're starting to develop. And so I've seen the growth of the company and how rapidly it's growing. And I've started to meet the people and understand their ideologies and understand where they're coming from, what motivates them, and what they're planning on doing. And it's been awesome, because I've seen such an alignment with what these people are doing and with what I'm doing myself. Now, I have to say this for my own personal career. I am planning on being a dentist. That's been my life's goal, my life's dream. I'm really, really excited to practice dentistry. But I love the opportunity to do something else like this. I love the opportunity to help other people, to put, my own creative work out there in a productive way, and to become a part of something like DAT Bootcamp, or Bootcamp now in general, which is a growing company that's impacting the lives of thousands of students. I mean, DAT Bootcamp literally made my life easier. And I like to say it's one of the reasons why I'm sitting at this desk today. And I mean that wholeheartedly. I mean that. And so the fact, the proposition to become part of that and to affect the lives of other students who are like what I was, it's extremely exciting to me. And I look forward to that. So I'm developing this course. I've been working closely with Joel. He's sort of my boss. He actually, not sort of, he is my boss. And we've been working closely on getting this project done. It's going to be a big project. We're going to create quite a few videos. And essentially the format of the course is 16 chapters to start with. 16 chapters. If you know dentistry at all, that number might stick out to you a little bit. 16 is the number of teeth that we're covering. So you get 8 teeth up top and 8 teeth down in the bottom there in the mandible that you cover. And each one of those teeth is going to have like roughly 4 to 5 videos covering it. So I'm going through everything. I'm going through some of the general considerations of the teeth, and then I'm doing all of the sides, occlusal surface and roots, and then some of the other special stuff that you talk about. And this is going to be a comprehensive course, and it'll be part of this new wave of boot camp, which is to sort of envelop the entire dentistry, the entire dental school, dental profession curriculum. And so I'm super excited about this course. I think it's going to be awesome. I hope that some of you who are listening will get to use it. It kind of depends on the timing. It'll be ready to go, and I'm not actually sure when it's going to be ready to go, but it'll be affecting and helping students in this coming fall who will be taking dental anatomy, because that's one of the first courses that you take in dental school. But hopefully somebody who is listening to this gets to kind of use that course and gets to appreciate it. So it's been awesome. And I now have this job, which is something that I didn't expect to have during dental school. And so far it's been wonderful. Now, you might be thinking, how does this impact YouTube? Because all of you are here because you hopefully enjoy watching my content and being part of what's going on here in my YouTube channel. I absolutely love my YouTube channel. It's one of the surprising things about how my life has developed. It's so new, it's so small still at this point, my YouTube channel is, but I see the potential of the channel, and I see my own growth within the video creation. And it's something that I'm genuinely passionate about. And I think that's just pretty simply God giving me a gift. And I don't know how much of a gift it is, how great I actually am at it, but I do think he's given me a creative side. And I think that that's something that I should continue to use moving forward. And now I have people who actually I think are slightly invested and care about what's going on with me. And so I plan to continue with this channel. This channel will not be stopping. And that's actually, once again, kind of bringing it all back around full circle while we're here at this podcast. Because creating a meaningful YouTube video can take many, many hours. And I have to be realistic. My number one priority outside of my faith and my family and those that I love is dental school. That is obviously my number one priority. I'm a dental student first. But I have the ability to do these other creative things outside of that. And so in trying to figure out the best way to allot my time, I've come up with this podcast, this idea of being able to talk to you. And actually by doing this takes way less time than creating a YouTube video. But I'm able to even articulate more of my thoughts to you. So that is the objective of this podcast. And that's a little bit of a life update for me. I don't think that there's anything else really serious to talk about. I'm actually trying to get back into the level of running that I was doing a few months ago. I know that's a really random twist there, random jump to a different topic. But I do want to talk about fitness and lifestyle. So a little bit of a running update. I have been running a little bit more, but not a ton, because I've also been lifting some weights. But we'll get into all that. I don't want to take up too much time on this podcast. This is going to be a short one, but I just wanted to give you a brief introduction to the idea. I am excited to have guests on this podcast. I think after maybe a few episodes in, I'll start bringing on guests. I'm having to think about the best way to do that because I want to keep this really high quality. I want it to look really nice. I want it to sound really nice. I don't want the podcast to just be a Zoom call because nobody likes to listen to a Zoom call, It doesn't sound great. But I want to integrate like-minded people who are doing similar things but have different perspectives into this podcast. And I already have a list of people that I want to talk to. If you have any folks that you want me to reach out to about this podcast, let me know in the comments, and we'll start getting that list filled out a little bit of people that will come onto this podcast. I'm not gonna, have an upload schedule for it just yet. I don't want to hold myself to anything like that. But expect to see these episodes coming out and expect to see them relatively frequently. As far as where they are and all that, I think eventually they will go up and become an actual podcast, like on Apple and Spotify and such. For now, it's going to be YouTube only, because it's easiest for me, it's simplest, and my subscribers are the people that I am working for right now, and all of you are on YouTube. So that's where this is going to be found, at least for the time being. And then eventually we'll get into becoming legit and making this a real thing. But it's really cool. It's almost a little bit strange and surreal for me to be doing this right now, because I have been such a consumer of content for my entire life. I spent a lot of years watching YouTube videos, and a lot of years ago making YouTube videos. So I've always been on YouTube, and that's one of the reasons why I have a channel now, is because of people that inspired me to do it on YouTube. Well, the other flip side of that is podcasts. I listen to podcasts all the time when I'm driving to school, driving to and from Nashville, my hometown. So a lot of times when I go on runs, when I go to the gym, in the shower, I listen to podcasts of all sorts. One of the ones I listen to the most is a Tennessee football podcast, because I'm a sad Tennessee football fan. Very, very sad. But I've always listened to podcasts, and I love the format of a podcast. You can sit back, you can play them pretty much anytime, and you can understand people's perspectives. Some of them are serious, some of them are fun and comedic, but you get to, it's almost like you're sitting down with another human being and you're having a conversation with them, but you just get to sit there and listen to their thoughts. And so that's what I'm doing here now for all my subscribers and for anybody who is going to listen. I don't know. I don't even know if there's going to be anybody listening at this point in the video or at this point in the podcast, but I'm excited about it. And I look forward to watching this whole thing grow, both my channel and this podcast along with it. And so I think in the next episode of this podcast, I will tell my story about how I made it to dental school, like the entire story. I'm not going to leave anything out, I'm going to tell point A to point B, going from a long time ago as a young kid to this desk right here. So that's going to be fun. And I will be covering a lot of other things on the podcast as well. I have a gentleman, just to tease some stuff, let me tease some stuff real quick. I have a gentleman who runs a finance Instagram. Really, really smart dude, knows his stuff. And he's also a personal friend of mine. And I want to have him on the podcast to talk about investing as a young person and as a potential high income earner, like we all are for going into dental school. Because I think the discourse on money management, though it's getting better in our day and age, I think it can continue to get better. And so I want to talk about money as well. And I want to be transparent. I don't want to be entirely transparent, because I do think that there's still a level of privacy that people should have when it comes to finances. But I look forward to talking to him about investing, because I'm not an investing genius at all. In fact, I know very little about what to do with money other than to try to save it. But I'm going to have him on. And so that's going to be fun. I'm going to have dental students on. And then who knows dentists, plenty of people who have both inspired me and who are coming up along on this journey with me. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk about. I was going to shoot for about 30 minutes for this episode. I don't even know if I want to take up any more of your time. But if you are listening, I wanted to tell you I appreciate you, because it means that you're somebody who has seen what I'm doing and has liked what they've seen. And so I want to tell you that I appreciate the fact that you are spending time on things that I've put my heart and soul into, because it means a lot to me. I'm very proud of my work. Not all of it's perfect. In fact, a lot of it's very flawed, but I can see the improvement every time I do it. And I just appreciate those who see that as well. So that is it for this first episode of the Talking Teeth podcast. Hopefully the name is nice there. I kind of like the alliteration, Talking Teeth. And we will be talking teeth on this podcast. We'll be talking nitty-gritty dentistry. and we'll be talking about the life around it as well. But that is it. I want to thank you all again for listening to this podcast, and I will see you in episode 2. Thank you guys.